Let's talk about the absolute worst part of using an AI coding assistant today. You're in the zone using Claude Code, Cursor, Windsurf, whatever, and suddenly it completely hallucinates a library method. We all know exactly what happens next. Your flow is totally broken. You alt-tab to a browser, dig through docs, copy a snippet, paste it back in your editor, tweak the prompt, and just kind of pray it works this time. It's exhausting. But in this explainer, we are going to fix that. We're upgrading your AI from a frustrating, isolated chat box into a fully connected engineering engine by installing the 8 production-grade Model Context Protocol, or MCP servers that are absolutely mandatory for 2026.
So think about your current workflow for a second. A production bug hits. You open Sentry, grab the stack trace, paste it into your AI, explain what's going on, jump over to your database to check a record, and then finally back to your editor. You're essentially doing all the heavy lifting to feed the AI context. Your AI is running on one single cylinder. Now imagine a unified context. By securely connecting a core stack of MCP servers, you bring your entire toolchain directly into the AI's brain. The conversation just flows. You literally never leave your terminal. And look, the data backs this up. Developers running a dialed-in MCP workflow are knocking out tasks 40 to 60% faster simply because they've eliminated all that manual context switching friction.
Honestly, the absolute best way to understand the Model Context Protocol is to think of it as the USB-C cable for AI. Before this, your AI was trapped. It couldn't reach into Figma. It couldn't query your database. It couldn't test your UI. You were the messenger. MCP changes the whole game. It's a universal standard built on JSON RPC 2.0 that lets your AI plug directly into your tools. It defines the actions, the data sources, and the templates perfectly. So instead of you going out to fetch data, the AI just reaches right through that digital USB-C cable and grabs exactly what it needs.
And if you're wondering, is this just another JavaScript framework of the month that's going to die in a year? Absolutely not. The trajectory here is actually insane. Anthropic released this in November 2024, and by early 2025, OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, AWS, they all jumped on board. But the real proof that MCP is the new permanent reality? In December 2025, it was donated to the Linux Foundation's AI Alliance. Every major AI client supports it natively now, and the configuration is universally identical. It's here to stay.
Okay, let's start building your engine. The undisputed absolute must-have server for 2026 is Context 7. If you're sick and tired of your AI spitting out code for deprecated Next.js or React versions just because of its training cutoff date, this is your silver bullet. Instead of throwing a frustrating red error when it hallucinates, Context 7 dynamically intercepts your prompt, hits the actual source, and injects the exact version-specific documentation before the AI even tries to write the code. It stops hallucinations cold. All you do is tack 2 words onto your prompt. Use Context 7. Boom. Done. The context is injected and your code compiles on the first try.
The adoption of this thing is just staggering. We are talking over 54,100 stars on GitHub, actively indexing over 33,000 libraries in real time. It is miles ahead as the #1 server of 2026. You literally cannot engineer efficiently without it today. But, quick senior engineer reality check for you. Make sure you're keeping it updated. You definitely want to be on the latest version to patch that context crush vulnerability that popped up early in 2026. When a tool holds this much context, security is non-negotiable.
Right, so your docs are sorted. Let's talk about your code and testing. First up is the official GitHub MCP server. And we're not just talking about reading code here. This gives your AI full command over your repository. An auth pipeline fails, you just tell your AI, hey, check open issues on the auth pipeline, draft a fix, and open a PR. You don't open a browser, you don't mess with auth tokens. The AI branches, commits, and creates the PR right from your chat. Next is Microsoft's Playwright server, and honestly, this feels like pure sci-fi. It lets your AI drive a real headless browser. You just say, navigate the staging checkout flow and tell me what breaks. The AI literally clicks the buttons, reads the DOM, and brings back visual proof. No more manually writing brittle Selenium scripts.
Let that level of automation really sink in. This right here is your foundation. I call it the 3-server starter pack. Before you go down the rabbit hole of installing dozens of hyper-specific tools, you need this base. Context 7 gives you the ground truth for docs. GitHub gives you repo control. Playwright gives you autonomous testing. Do yourself a favor and install this exact trio on every single machine you touch before you add anything else. This is the core engine block of the modern workflow.
Once that base engine is purring, we can start adding some specialized horsepower. If you touch front-end code or UI at all, the official Figma server is your next move. For years, front-end devs have burned countless hours just translating design files into code. You know the drill. Taking a flat screenshot of a Figma canvas, pasting it into your AI, and just hoping it figures out the padding. It's a total guessing game. And here's exactly why that screenshot method fails. Your AI is literally just eyeballing a flat picture. It's guessing margins, approximating hex codes, making up typography rules, and you end up with sloppy code you have to fix anyway. The Figma MCP server completely flips the script. It gives your AI direct first-party access to Figma's actual node tree. It's reading the hard data, the exact constraints, the precise hex codes, the literal component hierarchy. It outputs pixel-perfect UI code instantly because it's looking at the math, not a picture.
Now let's round out your stack with some specialized tools. First, Brave Search. If an API changed yesterday or a bug was filed this morning, stuff completely outside your AI's training data, Brave gives your AI a live, independent web index to search. Next, Superbase. Building full stack? This lets you manage your backend with natural language. Ask it to spin up tables or write crazy complex SQL joins, and it can do it because it reads your schema natively. Then there's Sentry. For production apps, this is mandatory. When an alert fires, Sentry MCP pulls the full production stack trace, user breadcrumbs, and environment variables right into your chat. You'll find the root cause before your coffee even gets cold.
And I have to give a massive shout out to Firecrawl. Let's be real, web scraping is a universally miserable experience for developers, but Firecrawl has over 110,000 stars on GitHub, making it one of the most deployed MCP servers in the world. It completely strips out the ads, the useless navbars, and the garbage HTML. It has full JavaScript rendering support, meaning it can take a massive, dynamic single-page application and turn it into perfectly clean, LLM-ready JSON data in seconds. It's just a data ingestion powerhouse.
But hold on, before you rush out and install all 8 of these at once, we need to talk about your token budget. This is crucial. Every single server you connect burns roughly 2,000 to 5,000 tokens just on schema injection before you even ask your AI a question. The AI has to learn what tools it has available every single time a chat starts. If you load up 10 servers, your context window gets eaten alive by background config, leaving zero room for your actual code. So, strict rule here. Cap your environment at 3 to 5 active servers. Keep the starter pack running and only flip on the specialized ones when your specific project actually needs them.
All right, we need to drop the energy for a second because I have a stark reality check for you. The MCP ecosystem is amazing, but right now it is the Wild West. A staggering 66% of scanned MCP servers in public registries had security findings. 66%! There were over 30 CVEs filed in just January and February of 2026 alone. There are over 10,000 servers out there, and a lot of them are just weekend side projects that have zero security auditing.
Think about what you're doing here. You are giving these servers real, actionable access to your local files, your browser, and your production databases. So this isn't just a best practice, it is a mandatory rule. Completely avoid unverified weekend projects. Period. Only install vendor-maintained servers, like the official ones from GitHub, Figma, and Sentry we just talked about, or official reference servers verified by the Linux Foundation's AI Alliance. If some old blog post tells you to install a random archived version, don't do it. Always verify the source.
So, let's wrap this up. I think this explainer proves pretty clearly that MCP isn't just a cool new feature, it's a fundamental shift in how we build software. Setting up a lean, token-efficient, and secure MCP stack today is going to give you a massive productivity advantage over devs who are still out there copy-pasting stack traces. You've got the foundation, you've seen the heavy hitters. The only question left is, which MCP server are you going to upgrade your workflow with first? Build that engine, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.